Ah yes, over 400,000 damage in Cyberpunk 2077 with a pistol, my friends. And in this video I'll be showing you exactly how to get this weapon and how to build your character to do this exact same insane level of damage. Oh, and it shoots through walls too, so there's really no escape from being one hit killed. Cover will not protect you. Now the funny thing is that you can get over 500,000 damage with this pistol, but at this point we already one hit kill everything in the game, so what's the point? I'm really just here for the memes now, and to give away another game of your choice. To enter, you just need to like the video, leave a comment below with your Steam username, and be a subscriber to win. And please don't reject my friend invite. So the gun I am talking about is called Comrades Hammer. Sounds like a hammer and sickle sort of thing. A big shout out to the Reddit user Stando Power and Codibus for inspiring me to make this video. After he showed himself hitting 400,000 damage, I was like, yes, I've got to try this. Comrades Hammer is simply the most busted gun in the game, since it stacks with so many of the perks, being a tech weapon and a pistol at the same time that also has the highest base damage in the game. And also only firing one single shot, which sounds kind of stupid, right? But it actually stacks with the pistol perk to double your damage again. Now you may be wondering, how do I deal with groups of enemies? Well, don't worry, Comrades Hammer has you covered. Because its iconic effect basically makes enemies you hit with the bullets from this gun explode and deal additional damage to anyone standing close to them. So essentially, if any enemies are grouped up and you shoot them with this gun, they'll just explode and instantly kill everyone standing next to them as well. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like firing grenades, that instant kill. So now let me show you guys how to get this weapon. So to grab this weapon for yourself, you must come over here on the map to the Santo Dominico area, located just here in Night City. Then you're going to go ahead and zoom into the northwest side in Arroyo, which is just here on the map. And you're going to find a suspected organized crime activity just here. It's in the shape of a skull. You should spot this as soon as you come by the area. It's just over here on the map, to be specific. But as soon as you get here, you're going to want to head on inside and just go ahead and park up over here. You're going to see a bunch of gang members and the NCPD will give you a buzz. And we really should be looking out for Darius because he is holding the best pistol in the entire game. I mean, I know I already hit like 100,000 damage a headshot, but I mean, this pistol is even better, guys. Don't even need to headshot the enemies anyway.
Come on out. Let's finish what we started.
Battle brother, I'm over here. Okay, so after you've taken everyone out, you need to go ahead and find Miles's body. As you can see, he's right here by his truck. Crafting spec Comrades Hammer. Now this is the crafting spec we need. It does say that you're going to be crafting it in epic quality, but don't worry, you can upgrade it to legendary still. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. Now before you craft this weapon, I just want to quickly mention you're going to need Grease Monkey to craft epic items, and then if you want to upgrade this weapon to legendary quality, which I highly recommend you do, it's very much worth it, you need Edge Runner Artisan, which requires 18 technical ability. And also before you craft the weapon, make sure you grab Field Technician. Crafted weapons deal 5% more damage, meaning that you can deal even more damage with this weapon. So make sure you have that perk. Now before you craft Comrades Hammer, if you go ahead and click on the crafting recipe, what you'll notice is that the DPS changes. So if I go ahead and craft this, you see that DPS changes again. So instead of wasting materials, what you want to basically do is keep clicking until you get one with like the maximum damage per second. because all of these effects are random. So you're going to want to keep clicking this until you get one that is the maximum amount of damage you've seen. It'll always be like 1057 or something like that. So just keep clicking it until you... Oh, 1500 that we just saw just there. So just carry on clicking this until you just see like a ridiculously high number for your level. I'll talk about upgrading it in a moment too. 1585. There we go. It seems to be a really rare roll. And then you craft it. So now we have the epic version of Comrades Hammer. We can upgrade it to legendary. However, once again, you're going to want to keep on clicking this until you get to like the maximum amount of DPS you can actually get out of the weapon. Because once again, it adds random effects each time you craft it. So make sure you do that again and then upgrade it to legendary. And now you're going to have the maximum amount of DPS. So if I go to my inventory and check, you guys can see I've got two legendary versions here. One does 2300 damage. The other one does 3524 damage. Now, do bear in mind that if you go back to crafting, you can see I can actually upgrade the damage even further. Now, I'm max level 50, so I can carry on upgrading this until the absolute damage cap, which is 3531.4 DPS, obviously affected by my stats as well. So as you guys can see, Comrades Hammer does 4735 damage so far. We also have another 4 mod slots that we can insert mods in. Now I don't actually have any legendary weapon mods at the moment, which means I could obviously do even more damage, as I said. However, you guys get the idea, right? We're going to be using a mod called Pacifier, which increases crit damage by 12%. We want to specifically focus on crit damage because it's much higher than if we just increase the base damage of the weapon. It's going to be nowhere near as good. So what you're going to do is get Pacifier mods, legendary, whatever quality, even rare. Now the epic versions cost 1375 eddies and the rare versions cost 875 or something like that. And you can use the same shop method by just going in and out and waiting 24 hours to actually get all of these mods. Now we've fully modded the weapon, and I've got one rare in here because I didn't have 4 epics, but as you guys can see, we're doing 5416 DPS, which is... Now the beauty of Comrades Hammer is the fact that it only has one shot before you have to reload it again, like so. So it's got a very slow attack speed, but honestly, it doesn't really matter because of the amount of damage you can do with it. Now the reason this is so good is if you go to the handgun perks, which we're about to go over right now, you will find there's this perk called Grand Finale. The last round in a pistol or revolver clip deals double damage. Like, it doubles your damage. It's ridiculous. I've already talked about how busted this game is with the perks, but my god. A one-shot revolver and a perk that just makes it deal double damage every single shot. We also have Long Shot Drop Pod. Increase damage with pistols and revolvers to enemies 5+ meters away by 25%. Then Desperado. Increase damage with pistols and revolvers by an additional 10%. High Noon. Increase crit chance with pistols and revolvers by 12%, which helps us get to that 100% crit every shot. And then we have Gunslinger. Reduces the reload time for pistols and revolvers by 25%. Absolutely key to this build, obviously. Next we have Rio Bravo. Increase headshot damage multiplier with pistols and revolvers by 30%. Very nice. Then we have Steady Hand, reduces pistol and revolver recoil by 30%. You don't need this at all, it's better for other pistols, but since this pistol is one shot only, recoil just isn't an issue. Wild West, removes damage penalty from pistols and revolvers when shooting from a distance, so you can essentially use this gun like a sniper rifle. Brain Power, after a successful headshot with a pistol or revolver, crit chances increases by 25% for 5 seconds. Obviously this is nice if you don't have 100% yet, but to be honest you will with this setup, and I'll explain why in a moment. Firing consecutive shots with a pistol or revolver at the same target increases damage by 10%. You'll never actually use this perk because you always one-hit kill everything in the game. Nothing has enough health. OK Coral. Deal 50% more damage with pistols and revolvers to enemies whose health is below 25%. Obviously doesn't come into effect. Then we have Westworld. Increase crit chance with pistol and revolvers by 10% if fully modded, which I will show you what we'll be doing in a moment with this. Now we also have the perk that I don't have yet, which you can invest 25 points into if you like. The good, the bad, and the ugly. After a successful crit with a pistol or revolver, damage and armor increase by 30% for 5 seconds, plus 1% per perk level. So you can literally just, put tons of points into this, and it will increase your damage even further with each shot, depending how many perk points you have invested. Now, as you level up your handgun skill, you also get additional perks that increase the damage, like increase crit chance by 5% when using pistols, or increase crit damage by 15% at level 11. I've got a guide in the description on how to level up your combat skills really fast if you have not already. Also note that if you have 20 points in your reflex attribute, you will also get an increase in crit chance by 1% per point. So that's 20% increase in crit chance. Also, we have the cool stat, which my character isn't actually heavily invested into, but it increases crit damage by 2% with each point. And if we have a closer look at the stealth perks here, there's actually a ability here, deal 15% more to human enemies. Now, considering 99% literally of the enemies in the game are human, you obviously want to grab this because 15% in general is what this means really. We also have Sniper, increases damage from headshots fired outside of combat by 50%. Meaning that, you can already kill anything in the game with one shot from this gun, but we're just doing stupid stuff here, so I want to show you this anyway. Another perk you can only get at level 12 is from the shadows. Upon entering combat, crit chance increases by 25% for 7 seconds. Obviously helpful, but definitely not necessary. Next we have Cold Blood. Now I'm not using Cold Blood at all. However, if you do want to invest in a Cold Blood pistol build, it works really well. Essentially, Cold Blood, after defeating an enemy for 10 seconds, will increase movement speed by 2% and stacks 1 time per stack. You can also get Merciless, which increases the crit chance and crit damage per perk level while Cold Blood is activated, for a total of plus 25% critical damage, meaning that this perk is absolutely ridiculous if you do invest in it and combine it with the handguns, but I'm not doing that for this video, and you don't need to. And also, since this is not only a pistol, but also a tech weapon, if you go to the engineering skill tree under technical ability, you'll find tons more perks that actually increase the damage even further. Now, just so you guys know, Ubercharge, for example, fully charged tech weapons deal 50% more damage. Sadly, this perk does not affect the damage because you cannot charge Comrades Hammer. I've tried and tested it, it doesn't count as being charged. However, Superconductor, tech weapons ignore armor, is a real thing that is pretty hilarious. Screw all the walls isn't needed, reduce the charge amount needed for tech weapons to penetrate walls by 30% because the weapon just counts as being able to hit through any wall anyway. Then we also have Gun Whisperer. Fully charged tech weapons do not shoot automatically. Again, you don't need this. However, you may be interested in grabbing Lightning Bolt, because each point in this increases crit chance with tech weapons by 3%. I already have 100% crit chance though, so this is not useful for me, and you don't really need it. Then we also have Blade Runner. Increased damage to drones, mechs, and robots by, I think it's 30 or 40% once maxed out. But most importantly, this perk right at the end of the tree increases damage from tech weapons by 25%. Increased charge damage from all chargeable weapons and cyberware by 10% as well. You get 1% damage per perk level. So obviously if you invest in this, you'll be doing an additional 25% base damage on your weapon. Now, I've tested this myself, and Mateum also pointed out that Comrades Hammer now does between 5,884 damage and 7,192 damage per shot, and it was half that before, so it's also worth maxing out that skill too. So obviously, Revamp does affect the tech weapon damage, increasing the flat base damage by 25%. You also have perks within the engineering skill tree, increase crit chance by 5% when using tech weapons, for example. So that is pretty much it for our perks and attributes. So now we're going to talk about clothing mods you guys can use to increase your damage even further. As you guys can see, I currently have a full set of legendary armor. I have 2 videos on where to get nomad armor and where to get corpo armor as well. That is all legendary. In those videos, I explain how you can get all free mod slots, and you guys will also notice that all of my armor has the maximum amount of mod slots. So you guys can see I've currently got 4 armor mods on my shirt and my jacket, and they all increase my armor. Now on your head, face, legs and boots, you can have another 3 armor slots. So in total you can get 20 clothing mods in the game, and currently I obviously have armadillo equipped to my clothing, and that gives me 6,634 armor, which is obviously a lot and makes me invincible. However, if for the sake of this video we completely sacrifice our armor for the sake of damage, we can instead get a variety of mods here, and I'll be showing you guys how to get these mods too. So there's several different types of mods you want to look out for. Firstly, we have Bully, plus 30% critical damage, and then we have Fortuna, plus 15% critical chance. So it's very easy to get 100% critical chance with the use of these mods. However, the best mod in the game, which is worth 100,000 eddies, is Deadeye, which gives you both of those mods in one. So plus 15% chance to crit and plus 30% critical damage. And considering you're critting every single hit, you're increasing your total damage overall each time you shoot someone. So if I apply Deadeye to each one of these, just with one item of clothing, I currently have a 90% increase to crit damage and a 45% increase to crit chance. Now you may be wondering, how do I get the best clothing mods in the game? Well actually guys, it's pretty easy. And by the way, you can fill out your whole armor with those clothing mods if you like. You can do over 1 million damage. I've just not shown you how in this video really. So if you go ahead and apply a Predator clothing mod to each piece of your clothing, in total you would have a 600% increase in damage. And you would have a 300% chance to critical hit, plus all the damage you get from perks and critical hit chance. So yeah, massively overkill. You don't need any of these clothing mods at all. This gun already one-hit kills anyway. It's just kind of hilarious that you can do this. In fact, right now in the game, there's a bug where clothing mods don't seem to stack, and sometimes just flat out don't apply the damage to your weapon, which is rather annoying. So to get all these clothing mods, all you need to do is literally find any clothing store on the map. It doesn't matter where you come. For example, I'm just using this one over here. And then once you get to the clothing store, you're just going to want to run inside. Have a look what they're selling. You can see she's selling a Predator Legendary clothing mod just here. Now this costs 191,000. So yes, they are stupidly expensive and a nightmare to obtain in that sense. However, there is a money making bug that I've linked below if you want to farm money for that. But anyway, to find the correct mod, what you're going to do is go ahead and wait 24 hours after you've left the shop. And then if you go back inside, the shop will completely reset its inventory. As you can see, she's selling Predator and also Anti-Venom this time. Now another easier way to get legendary mods is just to grab the Waste Not Want Not crafting perk. When disassembling an item, you get the attached mods back. And then you're going to go ahead to your crafting menu, and then you need to go ahead and craft rare armor. Now I recommend crafting these shirts because they have a higher chance of coming with 4 different mods attached. Now each time you craft one of these shirts, they have a random chance of having a legendary armor mod attached to them. So I'm just going to go ahead and craft a bunch of these quickly. And then if I go ahead and check my character's inventory where the shirts are, you guys can see this shirt, for example, has a legendary mod. It has a Fortuna legendary mod. So if we go ahead and dismantle it, we will get that mod for free, as you can see. So with that character build set up, you will be hitting over 500,000 damage. However, However, you don't really need to go to the lengths of getting every single perk and crafting mod in this video. It was really just done in the name of science to see what kind of damage figures we can do without stealth. Obviously, if you do want to find more iconic weapons that you don't need to craft, check out the playlist linked below for more game-breaking guides in Cyberpunk 2077. And guys, it is also possible to hit over 1 million damage with stealth as well, but this video is about being loud and proud. So Merry Christmas and thank you for another great year. I love you guys so much, honestly. Thank you for all the support on the Cyberpunk videos. It has been amazing. Have a lovely Christmas, guys. Even if, like me, you're not spending it with your family, I hope you guys have a good one.